There. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Swain County High School here on a beautiful Friday afternoon. Gary Ayers along with Maroon Devil head coach Toby Burrell. Coach, coming into this ball game today, two outstanding teams. Our Lady Devils, of course, and Murphy coming over to play us here this afternoon. And as always, Smoky Mountain Conference play is tough, and this game is going to be no different, is it?
It's certainly not. Gary, they're established at this juncture and what they're doing, and we're just trying to get there. We got some youngsters. We're just trying to get there. So we're looking to play against one of the established teams today and put in a good effort. And like I just told kids as we pray, let's just focus on the process and do those little things that we need to do to be successful, and the rest will take care of itself.
Oh, no doubt. A very young team, only two seniors on the team. Of course, they're starting this afternoon. I think we have 3 or 4 freshmen playing as well. So, very young team coming into this game. Of course, Murphy and Robbinsville tied at 3-0. We're right there behind them, one game behind. So, obviously, this is a big game for both teams.
Well, it is. It's a huge game for us. It's a big game for them to go 4-0, and it doesn't look like they're going to get Robbinsville until sometime in April. So the more wins each of those stack up, the more impressive that one will be when they do play. But we just want to be in the hunt. We want to be in the conversation and earn our way along. So we're just hoping for a good day out here today and put some good plays together and see what we can do.
Talking about playing well, we have a pretty good pitcher out there in the circle who has really had an outstanding season so far.
Stacy's been phenomenal for us. She has been night and day from last year, and that's not saying she was bad last year. It's just some of the biggest trouble she had was mentally with her command, with her confidence, and it's just total night and day, Gary. It's unbelievable how confident this kid is this year, and she is determined to come in and throw well and be the ace of this staff, and we're glad for it because she's been red hot here in the early going.
Well, I was just watching our ladies warm up, of course, and it's been a week where we've been able to get outside and actually practice. I know when we broadcast our first game, there hadn't been much time on the field, and obviously our defense is getting better.
Well, we've got 2 good days in this week, so we feel really good about that, of working on defense and working on things outside with grass under our feet and dirt under our feet and base running, which was really irritating me, and we had 2 good days to work on all that. So we'll see how that translates. I'm anxious to see how our kids respond today to the big stage, a big opponent, and they've got to figure out a way to keep doing the things that we got to do to be successful, be aggressive, and yet rein in and do it when it's advantageous rather than just all the time. So it's a delicate balance, and we really are excited about this game, to be on this stage and to put our folks out there and just see how we play against the best in the conference.
It's going to be a good game. We have the tradition, our Lady Devils against the Murphy Bulldogs. Fans, stay tuned. We'll come back with the opening pitch when we return after this timeout. Hi, everybody. Welcome back on a beautiful Friday afternoon here at Swain County High School as our Lady Devils are here hosting the Murphy Bulldogs in a huge conference game here on the Smoky Mountain Conference. As we had just a moment ago to talk to head coach Toby Burrow, we were talking about the conference race coming in. Our Lady Devils are 6-1 overall. We're 4-1 in the Smoky Mountain Conference. Our only loss was a tough one, a 5-4 loss to Hiawassee Dam. That happened in the bottom of the seventh inning, where Hiawassee Dam scored all 5 runs in that ball game. Right now, we're currently third in the conference race, right behind Robbinsville and Murphy, who are both now 3-0 in conference play. And our Lady Devils hope to come up with a win here today to tie Murphy and be right here in the thick of this Smoky Mountain Conference contest is what we're used to. First pitch is going to be bunted, and it's going to be an out over at first base. Good play by our Lady Devils over there at third base. Outstanding play on over to first base. So good job by Kinsley Chambers getting it over to first base in time to Maisie Helpman, and that bunt is going to be out number 1. That was Kennedy Colbert Carr for the Murphy Bulldogs, and they're coached by Nelson Bowman, of course. And coming up to bat now is going to be Grace Nelson. Grace Nelson is their starting shortstop, very athletic, and the first pitch is going to be in for a ball. And talking about an outstanding season, we mentioned it just a moment ago with head coach Toby Burrell, our sophomore pitcher, Stacy Griggs, having a very solid season this year and has just been outstanding. As a matter of fact, on Tuesday, she threw her first no-hitter of the season against Andrews, striking out 12 in just 5 innings of work. And Stacy, 5-1 on the season with an ERA under 1. That's right, .96 ERA. And the pitch in is going to be in for a strike, as Stacy has 51 strikeouts in 6 games against only 15 walks. And that tells you when you've got that kind of a strikeout to walk ratio, you're having a very good season. And Stacy is doing just that. Now with 1 down, and let's see what Grace Nelson is going to do. The wind is blowing. There's a ground ball. That's going to be to third base, over to first in time. So already our third baseman is getting a very busy inning here. Kinsley Chambers already with 2 quick outs over to first base on a couple of ground balls. And that's the way to get it done, if you will. So again, 2 ground balls over to third base. Annie Kate Dalton coming up to bat now, and what an athlete she is. Murphy's Annie Kate Dalton, their catcher and number 3 hitter, has already committed to play for the North Carolina Tar Heels, and she is only a sophomore, and I've never heard of that in softball over all these years. Annie Kate also kicked for their football team this past year. As you know, the Murphy Bulldogs, outstanding, and she is an outstanding catcher, a tremendous hitter, very aggressive at the plate. Pitch in for a strike, though, as Stacy Griggs is not backing down one bit to one of the best players in the conference. Murphy's Annie Kate Dalton now with the bat on her shoulder, with 2 out, nobody on here on the top of the first inning at Swain County High School. Murphy baseball going on the field right beside us here. It's a very windy Friday afternoon. Pitch in. There's a foul ball that goes over into the baseball field. As a matter of fact, it rolls right behind home plate as the home plate umpire calls a quick halt to the action over there. They're just getting started in the baseball game. They haven't even had the first hitter yet. But we already have 2 outs here in the top of the first inning and looking for out number 3 against one of the best players in the league, and Murphy's Annie Kate Dalton. Another foul ball out of play for 2 strikes. On deck for Murphy is going to be Kaya Pickens, their starting first baseman. Annie Kate, of course, at the plate with 2 out, their starting catcher, and is one of the best catchers we probably have seen in many, many years. She is just that good. Again, when the North Carolina Tar Heels offer her as a freshman, that tells you a lot. And that is just unheard of. But it has happened for Murphy's Annie Kate Dalton. But again, Stacy Griggs right now ahead in the pitch with 2 out here in the top of the first inning. Always tough when Swain and Murphy get together. Pitch in. There's a ground ball to third base and over to first base. Oh, too tall on the throw over to first. Annie Kate is going to round first and will wind up at second. So again, just a throw over to first base, too tall, as Kinsley Chambers has had a busy top of the first inning. 3 grounders already, as Annie Kate is now on with an error. Kaya Pickens is going to be hitting now with 2 out. And again, Dalton down at second base, and she's going to take off at any given opportunity now as Pickens is hitting, the number 4 hitter in the Murphy lineup. The home plate umpire getting his mask on, getting ready to go, and now we're ready to go. Mackenzie Seabolt is going to be on deck behind Pickens now with 2 out. In the circle, Stacy Griggs, 5-1, the windup and the throw. Going to be high and outside for a ball. And again, they're keeping a close eye on Dalton down at second base. But what a year for Stacy Griggs. When you have an ERA under 1, that says a ton. Pitch in for a strike, 1-1 the count now. But again, she has had an outstanding season. Just has improved so much from last year. Her confidence is better, and she is the ace on this team in the pitcher's circle. She has good control in the strike zone. A lot more often there's a ground ball that's going to be foul. Her stuff is better than last year. Her confidence, as Coach Toby Burrell mentioned in our pregame conversation, better, and she is just pitching at a very high level right now. So after the foul ball, getting back in the box is going to be Kaya Pickens, the Murphy first baseman, and cleanup hitter Mackenzie Seabolt on deck with 2 out, 1 on. Pitch just low and outside for a ball. And again, it's been decent weather this weekend, even though we had snow last night, believe it or not. At least our baseball and softball players have been able to get out and actually play with grass under their feet and play some infield and work on defense. Ground ball foul again. Early in the season, talking with Coach Burrell, we just didn't have much opportunity to get out and practice defense. We had a lot of opportunity to practice hitting over on the batting cage during these rainy days we had early in the season, but lately it has dried up a little bit, and we've had a chance to work on defense, and I know it's better. Pitch high and outside for a ball. Stacy keeping an eye on Dalton at second base with 2 out. Stacy Griggs, our sophomore. Over on the baseball diamond in the top of the first inning, Murphy scoreless. So our Maroon Devils will be hitting in baseball. There's a pop to third base, and it's going to be caught over there. So Murphy's only batter stranded at second base. And again, a good play over there by freshman third baseman Kinsley Chambers coming up with a tough pop over at third base, leaving their runner stranded, and no score in the top of the first inning. We'll be back with the bottom of the first. Our Lady Devils will be hitting when we come back after this. Fans, here we go in the bottom of the first inning. Our Lady Devils with Braden Taylor, Kendall Bowers, and Kinsey Eagleman hitting 1-2-3 here in the bottom half of the first inning. Murphy scoreless in the top half as they got one runner on, but our Lady Devils and Stacy Griggs in great play at third base by Kensley Chambers left that runner stranded at second base, and that's their one of their best players, Annie Kate Dalton, stranded at second. But again, three good plays over at third base by Kensley, and Murphy scoreless. There's a ground ball to third base of our own, over to first base in time. Again, couldn't make the play. Rounding first, headed to second is going to be Braden Taylor. So Braden gets on with an error. So obviously third base is, they call it the hot corner, and today it has been the hot corner. Every ball and play has been hit to third base by both teams. So right now, Murphy's third baseman over there, Mackenzie Siebold, is getting a taste of what our Kensley Chambers got in the top half of the first inning. Hitting now is going to be Kendall Bowers. What a season, hitting .750. That's right. And that's not an error. That's not a misprint. Hitting .750, which is just incredible. 15 runs scored. There's a foul ball on the third base side. But what an average for Kendall Bowers, one of our two seniors starting this afternoon. We have two senior starters in Kendall Bowers and Ayanna West, and four freshman starters. That tells you about this team. We're very young, only two seniors. Kendall, one of those, and she's got a big bat at the plate. Kinsey Eagleman on deck. And down at second base, Braden Taylor. There's a swing and a miss for a strike. And a throw down to third is going to be safe. Good work over there by Braden Taylor, sliding under the tag over there at third base. As Coach Burrell mentioned in the pregame, we've had a chance to work on base running. He hasn't been happy with that because we haven't had time to get outside because of all the rain. But there is one indication of where that is paying off. Braden down at third base now with a stolen base here. Kendall still at the plate. And there's a ball in play to shortstop. The throw over to first base is going to be in time for the out. And staying over at third is going to be Braden Taylor as Kendall grounds out to the shortstop. One down, and Kinsey Eagleman, another hot bat, hitting .630. Talking about two hot bats. Kendall at .750, Kinsey at .630. 23 RBIs, 5 triples on the year for Kinsey, our junior catcher, who is also one of the top catchers in the league as well. We got two of the top catchers in the league. Oh, pitch high. And boy, Braden was about ready to break from third. But again, an outstanding play back there behind the plate from Annie Kate Dalton, who obviously is an outstanding catcher. Being offered by the North Carolina Tar Heels as a freshman. And again, that is just, I haven't heard of that ever in softball or really baseball either, for that matter, in the last 30 years. Pitch in for a strike. Kinsey, what a season. Stacy Griggs is going to be on deck in the 4th spot. Kinsey is having a very, very good year. Obviously, when you're hitting .630, team leading 23 RBIs, 5 triples. There's a shot over shortstop. It's going to be dropping in. The run will score. Rounding first, heading on into second base. Talk about aggressive base running. Kinsey didn't even slow down. She came into second base wide open with a stand-up double. So, and a big RBI as well. So again, Braden scoring from third. That stolen base paying off. As Kinsey with another RBI, 24 on the season. And Stacy Griggs, our outstanding sophomore pitcher, hitting .333. 4 RBIs on the season. But a good bat and obviously a very good right arm. On deck is going to be Ashton Yantz. So now Kinsey down at second base with a big RBI and a double to give our Lady Devils the early lead at 1-0. Pitch in. It's going to be in for a strike. The Murphy pitcher this afternoon, by the way. My bad in not bringing her to your attention, and that's going to be in the circle. is Taylor Ledford, their flex player. She's in the circle this afternoon. Their designated hitter, if you will, their designated player. Some terminologies go both ways, is Caitlin Irwin. But again, Taylor Ledford, right-hander in the circle for Murphy. And again, they're 3-0. Murphy and Robbinsville in first place in the league right now. We're right behind with a 1-run lead right now. There's a bunt foul as Kinsey will stay at second. As you can hear on the microphone, we have plenty of breeze this afternoon. Beautiful sunshine, but a very cold breeze. Pitch in for a strike. And that's going to be strike three, the first strikeout of the day for either team. So 2 down. Ashton Yacht's the hitter. Talking about a strong bat, hitting .545, 11 RBIs, 8 runs scored. Ashton, one of our juniors, our second baseman. Kinsey still at second. Starts to take off. Swing and a miss for a strike. Coach Toby Burrell over there at third base. Not afraid to give our ladies the green light on the base paths. The windup and the throw. Pitch outside for a ball. Ashton hanging in there. Wanting another RBI to go along with her 11 ribbies on the season. Steps out of the box now as our ladies lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. And baseball nearby, that one scoreless. And they're already in the second inning with Murphy hitting in the top of the second. That game scoreless in baseball next door. There's a shot to second base, going to be a line drive, and we're going to leave one stranded as well. So that line drive right at second base for out number 3. After 1, our Lady Devils get on the scoreboard. We'll be back with the top of the second after this timeout. Back live on a Friday afternoon here on the Maroon Devils Network. Gary Ayers and Joe Holt as we're getting ready for the top of the second inning. Over in baseball, a quick update. Bottom of the second inning already. And no score in that game between the Murphy Bulldogs and our Maroon Devil boys over there as they're playing right next door to our Lady Devils and Murphy Bulldogs softball game. Stacy, first pitch in there for a strike, and that's what she does. Stacy keeps the ball around the strike zone, and that's why she has been so efficient this year with 51 strikeouts in 6 games and only 15 walks and an ERA under 1. And that is just amazing. .969 ERA. Pitch low for 1-1. Batting now for Murphy is going to be Mackenzie Seabolt, their third baseman, followed by Haley Bowman, their left fielder, and Allison Wells, their second baseman, hitting here in the top of the second. 1-0, Lady Devils in the lead. Always, for so many years now, this has always been a huge, huge game in the Smoky Mountain Conference standings. And today, really no different. We're one game behind Robbinsville and Murphy. They're 3-0. Our ladies are 4-1 in conference play. And if we can beat Murphy today, putting them at 3-1 and moving us to 5-1, we'll jump ahead of Murphy, actually, and trail only Robbinsville. And, of course, we have 2 games coming up with Robbinsville and one more game with Murphy. And, ironically, our last 2 games of the regular season are going to be with Robbinsville and Murphy on the road. Pitch in for a walk. And that's only the 16th walk of the season given up by Stacy. Murphy now with a base runner on. Haley Bowman, their starting left fielder, stepping in to hit now for the Murphy Bulldogs as she looks to Coach Nelson Bowman down there in the third base box. Stacy with a windup and the pitch going to be just missing for a ball. Again, got to keep an eye on Mackenzie Seabolt now at first base. Both teams have already had base runners, obviously, with a great game. Runner going down to second. Throw is in time, and that's going to be an out. Outstanding play behind the plate from Kenzie Eagleman. Down with a good tag at second base, and we gun down the Murphy base runner trying to steal Mackenzie Seabolt with a great play and a great throw. And again, that's what the ability to work outside and get some practice in on defense will do as that pays off, and we have one out. So again, that walk hurt absolutely nobody. Bases empty now with one down, and Haley Bowman still at the plate for Murphy. Swing and a miss for a strike. Again, over in baseball. No score yet in the bottom of the second inning between our Maroon Devils and the Murphy Bulldogs. Always a big rivalry. It doesn't matter if we're playing baseball, softball, football, basketball, you name it. These two teams go at each other hard every time we square off. Some of the most exciting softball games I know we've ever played have been against Murphy right here on this field. Ground ball up the middle, going to be in for a base hit. Throw coming back into second in time. And that is only the second hit of the day. Kenzie Eagleman had a big double, and now that is the first hit for Murphy. Haley Bowman is on safely. They had a base runner earlier, got on with an error, but now Allison Wells is hitting for the Lady Bulldogs. For the Bulldogs, a lot of schools now have pitch in for a strike, have dropped the Lady title in their mascot, if you will. One of the few teams, as a matter of fact, in college that still uses that, the Lady Vols of Tennessee, as they made it into the NCAA playoffs this year. And there was some discussion about whether they would make it for the first time ever or whether they would not make it for the first time ever. But the Lady Vols still very proud of that nickname, and our Lady Devils the same here at Swain County High School. But again, in collegiate athletics, it's becoming something that is rarely used anymore. Pitch in, and it's going to be missing for a ball. Talking about college, I want to give a shout out to our Erin Jenkins, who started with the Maroon Devils Network as a freshman, is working on a degree in journalism and broadcasting down at Chapel Hill. And this past Tuesday, she did the Stadium PA for the Tennessee and UNCA softball game, Tennessee number 5 in the country, which was a big, big softball game. And as part of her major, she gets to sign up to do events like that. And we're really proud of Erin Jenkins, and we hope she might get some opportunities with the ACC network, which is now being implemented. And we are so proud of her, and she's participating on the club softball team at Carolina. And that is really good news. We appreciate Coach Burrell sharing with that information with us today. And again, so proud of Erin Jenkins, who is part of our Maroon Devils network here and did a great job with us here at Swain High. And she's moving on to bigger and better things. As you know, the Tar Heel athletic program, one of the best in the country at so many levels. There's a foul ball, no play. Talking about the Tar Heels, they are one of 3 number 1 seeds in the NCAA basketball playoffs, along with Duke and Virginia. The other seed, Gonzaga, from the great state of Washington. But the ACC, 3 of the top 4 seeds. Amazing. North Carolina, Duke, and Virginia. Pitch in. And it's going to be a strikeout. Oh, yes, indeed. Stacy caught her looking. So Allison Wells goes down with a big strikeout. So a full count and an outstanding payoff pitch from our Stacy Griggs, getting it done in the circle this afternoon. Now stepping in with 2 out is going to be Reagan Ennis. Reagan batting now with 2 down. There's a shot that's going to drop in. And that's going to be for a base hit. Boy, the Murphy coach not happy that the base runner didn't come around to third. She stopped at second, talking about Haley Bowman. But she held up at second. That ball was so high and it dropped in. It was between second base and center field. Just nobody had a shot at it. So again, Ennis is on now with Murphy's second hit of the day. Is now they have runners at first and second with 2 out. Here in the top of the second inning. Pitch in for a strike. So Murphy starting to make some noise, but again, they're doing it with 2 outs now. At the plate for Murphy is Caitlin Irwin, their designated player. Swing and a miss for a strike 2. Our Lady Devils with a 1-0 lead here, but Murphy threatening with 2 out, 2 on in the top of the second. We expect a fabulous game, and so far it has been just that, 1-0 lead. Top of the second inning, the windup and the throw, pitch in, and that's a call, third strike, and another strikeout for Stacy Griggs, getting it done as Murphy leaves 2 on base in the top of the second. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Our Lady Devils up 1-0. We'll be back. Fans, welcome back. Our Lady Devils with a 1-0 lead here as we bat on the bottom of the second inning. Murphy leaving 2 stranded in the top half of the second. And the first pitch is going to be in for a ball as our Lady Devils will, again, try to get another run on the board here with a 1-0 lead. And as we step into the batter's box here, our Lady Devils, Savannah Smith, ground ball to first, and that's going to be an easy play, of course, down at first base for Murphy as Kaya Pickens picks up the ground ball, and that's going to be out number 1. Maisie Heltman is going to be hitting now. Freshman hitting back-to-back. Savannah having a good season, hitting .391 Before that ground out to first base, Maisie Heltman already has a home run this year and 4 RBIs. Again, freshman hitting back-to-back. Swing and a miss for a strike. Savannah, our right fielder. Maisie, our first baseman. On deck is going to be Keely Eagleman, our sophomore left fielder. And she'll be in the on-deck circle. Here's the windup and the throw. There's a shot that's going to be out of play down the third base side. Over there on the bank where some of our fans actually sit and watch the action. We've got fans on the left field side and over actually behind the high school building in straightaway center field. And unfortunately, pitch in for a strike. Unfortunately, that's going to be strike number 3. So our Lady Devils, and again, that pitch looked a little high and outside. From our angle, of course, we're not behind home plate like the umpire is. So that's going to be out number 2 as Keeley is sitting now. But again, Murphy, all their fans are actually sitting behind home plate, which always makes it tough because they have more fans down there behind home plate than we do. So anyway, and they have a pretty good contingency of softball and baseball fans that came over from Murphy to watch the game. We have a lot of baseball fans actually sitting out of the parking lot in their cars and trucks watching from the baseball vantage, and several watching the softball game. Again, 2 out, nobody on here on the bottom of the second inning. Our Lady Devils, got a hit batter. And so we get a base runner on. And we hope she's going to be okay. Talking about Keely Eagleman. Got hit by a pitch and in the leg. And normally that's okay, but you just don't want to get anybody injured as she's on first. And she's getting some instruction over there, of course, from one of our great coaches, Kayla McMahon, over there in the box at first base. So Keeley ready to go. 2 out. Now stepping in, Ayanna West starts to go. Throw down to second. It's going to be in time and out at second base with no problem. We were trying to steal at second, but the throw down there is tough. Murphy's Annie Kate Dalton, one of the best in the business, throwing down to second base for the out number 3. So we've played 2. We go to the top of the third. Our Lady Devils on top, 1-0. We'll be right back. Fans, welcome back as our Lady Devils back on defense here against the Bulldogs of Murphy High School. Stepping back in, it's going to be now for Murphy as we're entering the top half of the third inning. Pitch high and outside, missing for a ball. Again, Murphy coming in 3-0, tied with Robbinsville for first place right now in the Smoky Mountain Conference. But, of course, our Lady Devils right behind. Here's a foul ball, no play. Leadoff hitter Kennedy Colbert Carr. Their center fielder who grounded to third base her first time up this afternoon. Taking a look at our Lady Devil defense, of course, in the circle this afternoon pitching. Stacy Griggs doing a great job as always. Kenzie Eagleman, one of the best catchers in the conference, our junior behind the plate. She has already thrown out one runner this afternoon. Down at first base as that pitch is in for a strike is Maisie Heltman. At second base, Ashton Yachts. Over at third base, Kinsley Chambers, who has been very busy this afternoon. And, of course, our shortstop, another freshman, Braden Taylor. And there is a third strike for out number one, getting the leadoff batter. In the outfield for our Lady Devils defensively in center field is Kendall Bowers. In right field, Savannah Smith. And in left field, Keely Eagleman. As Murphy is batting now with one down. Grace Nelson coming to the plate. And talking about Murphy, all of a sudden they have taken the lead in the baseball game next door as they have scored two quick runs in the top of the third inning to take a 2-0 lead in the baseball game next door. Our Lady Devils right now in the lead 1-0 here on the top of the third with one out. Grace Nelson grounded to third base, her first time up. There is a high pop that could be trouble. Shortstop going back and catches it. What a great play over there by Braden Taylor. That was a tough play. She was going back, lost her hat, looking right up into the sun. And also coming on was our left fielder, of course, as Keely Eagleman held up wisely. And a great play over there by Braden Taylor. That was a really tough catch. So Grace Nelson popping out to Braden Taylor at shortstop. Two out now. Annie Kate Dalton got on with an error last time. And she was left stranded at second base. Base is empty, two out. And again, Stacy Griggs, our outstanding pitcher. There's a shot into right field. That's going to be at least a base hit, knocking it down and holding Dalton to a single is going to be Savannah Smith in right field. Kind of took a bad hop on her, but she knocked it down with her right hand and made a good play on it. So Annie Kate on with a single. Kaya Pickens, their first baseman, who popped out to third base, her first time up. As we mentioned in the first inning, basically all three outs over there, handled by Kinsley Chambers, our third baseman. Pitch in for a strike. Again, Annie Kate Dalton at first base is liable to take off at any moment to try and get into scoring position now with two out. Pitch low. Good job by Kinsey keeping that ball in front of her. And again, you hear the wind blowing in the microphone. It's been a very breezy afternoon. Sunshine is nice, but the wind is very cold. Ground ball to third base. On over to first in time. And again, Kinsley Chambers gets it done. And Murphy leaves the runner stranded again here on the top of the third inning. So our Lady Devils hanging on with good pitching and good defense as we lead 1-0 going to the bottom of the third. We'll be back. Fans, here we go. Bottom of the third. Ayana West will lead us off here for our Lady Devils as we're hitting here in the bottom of the third with a 1-0 lead. First pitch in for a ball from their pitcher in the circle, Taylor Ledford for the Murphy Bulldogs. A team we're trying to put in the lost column here this afternoon. There's a slap hit, going to be foul. No play on the third base side. Over in baseball, not as we would like to report, but right now Murphy with a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the third. Our Maroon Devils will be hitting in the bottom of the third, but a 3-0 Murphy lead in baseball next door. Pitch high for a ball. Ayana on the season, good season, hitting .353. Our designated player this afternoon. But again, hitting the ball well and getting it done at the plate. There's a swing and a miss for a strike, though. Ayana looks down the third. Head coach Toby Burrell, and of course, trying to get the call. There's a pop that's going to be in play. It will stay in play. Murphy could not make a play on it. And we're going to call that an infield single because the catcher had a chance. The pitcher had a chance. They both went after it. Neither made a play. And down at first base is going to be Ayana West. Now, of course, our decisions are not official. But, again, we're going to call that an infield single. It could be called an error as well. Nobody really got a glove on it. It just died right in front of the catcher, much to the delight of the Lady Devils. As now we have a runner on. Nobody out here in the bottom of the third inning. Digging in, it's going to be Braden Taylor. Pitch in for a ball. Braden made a great catch. Actually out in shallow left field just a few minutes ago. Outstanding play out there that was really one of the best catches on the day defensively so far. Pitch in, just missing inside for a ball. Braden having a good season, hitting .391, has scored 12 runs, has a home run. Braden got on with an error last time as she hit a ground ball to third base, and they threw it too tall over there to first base. Pitch in, that's going to be a call strike. Now with nobody out, one on, bottom of the third, in this 1-0 Lady Devil lead over Murphy. Fast-moving game. Again, we're already in the bottom of the third inning. Both teams have had base runners. There's a foul ball out of play. We have seen some good defense and we have seen some good pitching both ways here this afternoon by the Lady Devils, Stacey Griggs, and by Murphy's pitcher as well. Talking about the lady in the circle, Taylor Ledford. So good pitching, good defense, timely hitting. Swing and a miss. And that's going to be strike three as Braden goes down swinging. One down now with Kendall Bowers and her unbelievable hitting average of .750 on the season. Kendall has just been just outstanding with the bat in her hands. 15 runs scored. And again, hitting .750. That's a hit every 3 out of 4 times at the plate, folks. That's if you could convert that into baseball, should be making more money than Mike Trout. And he signed a contract this week for $430 million. I mean, it was just unbelievable. Pitch in for a ball. The catcher for Murphy, of course, Annie Kate Dalton, keeping an eye on our runner at first base, Ayana West. Ready to take off. But again, Dalton, a tough catcher to run on. You're not going to steal many bases on Dalton behind the plate for Murphy. There's a foul ball behind the plate over into the yellow bell bushes, if you will, back behind our home dugout. One thing that has bloomed very well, the yellow bells and the daffodils are in the early spring season that has seen snow as late as yesterday. And still plenty of cold weather. Ground ball to shortstop. Play at first in time, but moving on down to second base. So again, Kendall Bowers moving Anna down to second. So Kendall in 2 times has grounded out to short And Kenzie Eagleman batting now. Kenzie had a big double and knocked in our only run of the day, her last time at bat for our Lady Devils. Kenzie digging in. And again, talking about great averages, hitting .630, 23 RBIs, 5 triples, had a big double today. There's a foul ball. No play right behind the plate. And as you can hear, the wind is still blowing pretty hard, and it's blowing out. So it's a hitter's day for the weather. Beautiful sunshine, blue sky, and the wind blowing from home plate to center field. Pitch in for a strike. Both pitchers have been pretty consistent this afternoon, keeping the ball around the strike zone. Our Stacy Griggs and their Taylor Ledford. We've only seen a couple of walks today. The windup and the throw. Foul ball. This one's going into the baseball field next door. And it's going to be actually right in the pitcher circle on the baseball diamond. And luckily, nobody is hurt either way. The ball was technically not in play when that softball went over there. So Kenzie digging in. Ayana down at second. Ground ball foul, third base. Stacy Griggs in the on-deck circle. Murphy outfielders playing a little deeper than normal. They know what Kenzie can do with the bat. With 23, now 24 RBIs on the season, including one today. That is the only run scored. Pitch in the dirt for a ball. But again, Dalton keeping the ball in front of her. We have two of the best catchers in the conference and probably in the mountains anywhere, no matter what level, with our Kenzie Eagleman and their Annie Kate Dalton. These two ladies know how to play catcher. There's a good shot right at third base, though. Wow. It's almost like stick out my glove and look what I found for their third baseman, Mackenzie Seabolt. Just a bang-bang line drive, and we go to the top of the fourth with a 1-0 lead. We'll be back. Fans, welcome back. We've got a good one going here at Swain County High School. A 1-0 Lady Devil lead now as Murphy is at bat here on the top of the fourth inning in this 1-0 ball game. And hitting now is going to be Mackenzie Seabolt, who got on with a walk last time. And that is the only walk issued by Stacy Griggs this afternoon. Oh, well hit ball into left field, but it's going to be, is it going to be foul? Yes. And that is good news for the Lady Devils, of course. That ball was hit well down the left field side, and it is going to be foul, and Mackenzie Seabolt will come back and try again. But again, it has been really good pitching and some timely hits for both teams. But both teams have left some base runners on in this big Smoky Mountain Conference showdown. There's another ball well hit. This one's going to go all the way to the fence in left center field. Bouncing off the fence, throw coming into second. And in there with a stand-up double is going to be Mackenzie Siebold. So already Murphy with a base runner on. Nobody out here in the top of the fourth inning. Haley Bowman, Allison Wells coming up to bat for the Murphy Bulldogs now as they have struck in the top of the fourth inning. But so far, they haven't had a base runner, I don't believe, to third base so far today. There's a foul ball going to be out of play behind home plate. Hitting now is going to be Haley Bowman, their left fielder who got a base hit last time. So far on the day, unofficially, Murphy with 1, 2, 3, 4 base hits. One of those an extra base hit. The others 3 singles. Seabolt with the only extra base hit. And that's why she's standing down at second base right now. She ripped a line shot into left center field. So again, Murphy trying to tie this one up as our Lady Devils lead it 1-0 here on the top of the fourth. The windup and the throw. Swing and a miss on the pitch. Again, Stacy doing a good job in the circle here this afternoon at Swain County High School. Over in baseball right now, the Dogs up 3-0 as they're in the fourth inning as well. Both teams in the fourth in this conference showdown both ways. Stacy taking her time. The windup and the pitch fouled off. This one over behind the bleachers. But again, in baseball, a quick update again in the top of the fourth inning. Murphy with a 3-0 lead with 1 out. In that baseball game that's going on, of course, right here beside our softball game. We're in the top of the fourth inning, and our ladies up 1-0. There's a shot to shortstop. On over to first in time for the out. Oh, my goodness, they called her safe. Wow. Okay. Safe, and that moves the runner down to third base as well. Second hit in a row now for Haley Bowman. She's 2 for 2 on the day. And now Murphy all of a sudden with a great situation here. Runners on the corners, second base open, and Allison Wells hitting. Allison struck out last time. And you know what's going to happen as soon as pitcher 2 comes in. Haley Bowman is going to break for second, and there she goes. And there's going to be no throw, obviously, with a runner at third base. So now, Murphy with runners in scoring position with nobody out here on the top of the fourth inning. Their biggest inning so far today. As we mentioned, they've had a base runner every inning, I believe, but we've been able to get them out and leave them stranded. Can we do the same thing here with nobody out? 1-0 Lady Devil lead. Stacy back on the rubber and swing and a miss for a strike. Allison Wells, the hitter, with Reagan Ennis on deck. Big Smoky Mountain Conference game this afternoon. As we mentioned, our Lady Devils 4-1 in conference play. Murphy 3-0. They're tied with Robbinsville, both 3-0. We're right behind them. We want to pin a loss on Murphy today and move into that second spot behind Robbinsville. Of course, we'll play Murphy again, and we still have 2 games coming up with Robbinsville. Foul ball. Our Lady Devils still with a lot of softball coming up. By the way, we did find out this afternoon that the game with Tuscola that was scheduled for next week has been canceled, so the Tuscola softball game will not be played. It was scheduled for Tuesday, then got moved to Monday, and now we found out today from Coach Burrell that game has been canceled. Tuscola decided they did not want to play. So no Swain Tuscola softball next week. Pitch in the dirt. Kinsey keeping it in play, but that's going to be ball 4, and now Murphy with the bases loaded. So now let's see, with nobody out, bases loaded, and Reagan Ennis hitting now with a base hit last time as she gets some instruction before stepping into the batter's box. And I say this on a positive note, that might not have been a totally bad thing to now have the bases loaded. That gives our Lady Devils options defensively. We can have a play at any base. And hopefully the one on home plate, as you know, with nobody out now, the bases loaded. We need to have that forced play in the infield if at all possible. Reagan Ennis again with a single last time. Caitlin Irwin is going to be on deck for Murphy now with their biggest threat of the game. Bases loaded, no out. Pitch high for a ball. So let's see what we can do defensively to hopefully keep Murphy off the scoreboard here on the top of the fourth. 1-0 lead. Pitch in. And that's going to be a called strike. So with no Tuscola game coming up next week, the next game on the schedule, I do believe it's going to be on Tuesday, March 26th, and that's going to be with Rabun Gap at Rabun Gap, Georgia. There's a foul ball behind the plate, no play. So right now, our ladies are scheduled to be at Rabun Gap Nakuchi School down in Rabun Gap, Georgia. That'll be on Tuesday at 4:30. As again, the Tuscola game was canceled. And then coming up on Friday, March 29, which will be a week from today, our ladies will be hosting Robbinsville, and that's a huge conference game right here at Swain County High School next Friday, a week from today. So put that on your calendar. Tuesday on the road at Rabun Gap. Next Friday, Robbinsville right here. There's a well-hit ball into left field. Is it going to be in? Or is it going to be foul? It's going to be foul. Wow, that could have scored a couple. So that's a big break for the Lady Devils as that is foul down the left field line. So the bases stay full. No out. And check that, Reagan Ennis trying to make something happen now for the Murphy Bulldogs. As our Lady Devils have a 1-0 edge right now. Over in baseball next door in the fourth inning, Murphy leads 3-0. Swing and a miss, and that's a big strikeout for Stacy Griggs and the Lady Devils. So again, that's one way to keep those runs off the scoreboard, is to strike out the people at the plate. Caitlin Irwin hitting now. Caitlin struck out last time. She's their designated player this afternoon for Murphy, now hitting with one out. Bases still loaded, 1-0. Lady Devils lead. On deck is going to be top of the lineup and Kennedy Colbert Carr. Ball got through. Everybody stays put, though, on the foul ball. So now the Lady Devils on their toes defensively. Everybody trying to keep Murphy off the scoreboard here, now with one out. Here's the windup and the throw. Pitch is going to be low for a ball. So fans, don't forget, we're going to be on the road Tuesday at Rabun Gap. Then we'll be right back here next Friday. Home game against Robbinsville. And as of today, Robbinsville tied with Murphy at 3-0 in conference play. Right in front of us. Pitch high for a ball. Stacy checking her signals now with a windup and the throw. Pitch is going to be low. And now a quick timeout as Stacy will talk it over with catcher Kenzie Eagleman. Want to be sure everybody's on the same page. And again, big situation here with the bases loaded. And I think the count is 3-1 or 3-2. 3-1, I believe, the count. So a big pitch here with the bases loaded and a 3-1 count. Caitlin Irwin also trying to get some advice from her coach down at third base as well as she comes back to the batter's box and now steps in. 3-1 count, bases loaded, 1-0 Lady Devil lead here. Big pitch coming, and that's going to be fouled off for no play over toward the baseball field. So now the count runs 3-2. Can our Lady Devils get out of this jam? Okay. Wow. Talking about A tense situation here. Bases loaded, one down, and a full count. And the pitch is going to be... Oh, it's going to be a call strike. The batter thought it was a ball. She started down to first base. A late call by the home plate umpire, and it's going to be call third strike. So a big strikeout for Stacy Griggs is now Murphy with the bases loaded, 2 out, and top of the lineup, Kennedy Colbert Carr, who has grounded to third base and struck out in 2 times. So again, another big strikeout for Stacy Griggs. That was really, really big because the batter thought it was a ball, already took off down to first base. And again, top of the lineup, as Kennedy Colbert Carr again has not been on today. A grounder to third and a strikeout in 2 times. 0 for 2. 2 out now with the bases loaded. And 2 consecutive strikeouts that are huge for Stacy Griggs. Wow. Again, that wind blowing toward the outfield. Pitch outside for a ball. No, it's a call strike. Wow, again, the home plate umpire somewhat delayed at his calls on balls and strikes. That wind really blowing, and now the sun really in the eyes of first base, second base, and right field for the defensive players. Pitch in. Swing and a miss. Another big strike and another big pitch from Stacy Griggs. Wow, can she pitch out of this jam with the bases loaded? Murphy had it bases loaded, no out. Now it's bases loaded, 2 out. Stacy has been talking about coming through in the clutch. You don't get any more clutch than this right here with the bases loaded. Pitch just missing high. And again, we're guessing sometimes on the pitch here from our angle just outside the right field fence. As the home plate umpire, obviously, a much better vantage point than we have. Stacy again checking her signal. There's a pop-up. It's going to be a fly. It's going to be into center field. Oh, it goes over the head, and 1 run will score. The throw is going to be coming into home plate. There's the tag. We missed. And now 2 runs in, throws down to second, and it's going to be out at second base. But again, a tough break in center field, and I really feel out there for our center fielder, as I'm sure Kendall Bowers was looking right up into the sun. That ball went right over her outstretched glove, and she is really beside herself right now. Very upset with that as that ball went over her glove, and she was looking directly into the sun. And that is just a really, really tough break as now Murphy has the lead, and we'll be back as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning after this timeout. Our Lady Devils now coming back to the plate here after the Murphy Bulldogs scored for 3 in the top of the 4th inning. A tough break for our Lady Devils as, again, we had 2 out with the bases loaded. But, again, a high pop-up or fly ball, actually, that was in shallow center field just into the sun. A tough break that is really, really tough as we had a great situation, had the bases loaded, but then we came back with 2 outs, and there's a foul ball down the third base side. Off the bat of our first batter here, Stacy Griggs. Our pitcher who has done an outstanding job here this afternoon. Stacy struck out last time. Stacy hitting .333. Ashton Yachts, Savannah Smith going to be on deck here. Let's see if we can answer back here in the bottom of the 4th inning. As again, Murphy striking for 3 in the top half of the 4th inning here. You can see the wind on the camera blowing all the dust around. It is really windy here this afternoon. But again, our thoughts going to the defensive players in center field, in right field, at first and second base. They're looking directly into the sun. And we saw the results of what that could do. There's another fly ball. This one into center field, and this one is going to be caught out there. As ball pretty well hit over there, but just caught in center field off the bat of Stacy Griggs. So a fly out to their center fielder out there, Kennedy Colbert Carr. Batting now is going to be Ashton Yachts, who lined out to second base her last time. Savannah Smith is going to be on deck. 1 out, nobody on. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. This one, I really feel, is going to be going 7. I don't see the way this one is going with the really good pitching. I don't see this one going in 5 either way. Ground ball, base hit between shortstop and third. Our Lady Devils on with possibilities here. Good wrap over there for Ashton Yachts. So we got a base runner ready to roll here as she's on with a base hit. Savannah Smith grounded to first base her last time, and on deck behind Savannah is going to be Maisie Heltman. Savannah having a good year with the bat, hitting .391 with 7 RBIs and 6 runs scored. And again, we're down 3-1, but hey, only one swing away from tying this one up at 3-3. Over in baseball nearby, they're already in the 5th inning. Murphy with a 3-0 lead. In the top of the 5th inning, they have a runner on second base right now. Ground ball to shortstop, over to first in time as we move the base runner around, but that's going to be 2 outs now. And Savannah with a ground ball to shortstop. Maisie Heltman struck out last time. Maisie hitting .200 on the season, but has a big home run and 4 RBIs. As we mentioned, one swing and a home run here could tie things up, as Ashton Yachts is down at second base, and she'd love to score, obviously. Pitch in for a strike. But again, outstanding pitching this afternoon from our Stacy Griggs and their Taylor Ledford. Got to give some credit where it's due. Both pitchers are pitching well this afternoon. There's a foul ball that's going to roll. Oh, it's going to be foul, just foul. So coming back is going to be Maisie Heltman, as Murphy's third baseman stood there and watched it. It almost stayed in play, but rolled just foul, had enough spin on it to roll foul there. So again, 2 out, 1 on. We're down 3-1 here on the bottom of the 4th. Swing and a miss, and that's going to be strike 3. And we're going to leave that base runner stranded here. So we have played 4, but we still have a lot of softball coming up. Stay with us right now. It's Murphy 3, our Lady Devils 1. We'll be back in the top of the 5th after this. Fans back in the top of the fifth inning here at Swain County High School on a Friday afternoon in conference play. Our Lady Devils and Murphy's Bulldogs here. As right now Murphy with a 3-1 lead. As let's see if defensively we can keep Murphy off the scoreboard the rest of the way. Boy, you can see the wind really kicking up the dust in the infield, and that gets in the players' eyes. And yeah, it's a problem. It has really been blustery here this afternoon on both fields, baseball and softball. But at least we've been able to get out and play this week with very little rain at all. And pitch in for a ball. 2 balls now with a 3-1 Murphy lead here as Murphy's trying to get back on the scoreboard. Grace Nilsson hitting. Grace in 2 times has grounded to third base and popped out to the shortstop. Annie Kate Dalton and Kaya Pickens, their 2, 3, and 4 batters hitting here. There's a high shot that's going to be trouble coming on, and the shortstop going back a second. Great catch today for Braden Taylor. She went into actually almost the middle of center field to pull that one in. And I tell you, looking into the sun as well, that sun is a problem for fielders. As she was looking right back into it, lost her cap again, but hung on to the ball, so 1 down. Batting now, Annie Kate Dalton, who has been on base both times today. The first time from an error, the second time with a single. Again, the North Carolina Tar Heel commitment player, as again, she has already committed to Carolina as a freshman. She also kicks for their football team. Just one of those very talented athletes and an outstanding catcher behind the plate. One of the best ever. Stacy Griggs with a windup and the throw. Ground ball foul on the third base side. Wow, the wind is just swirling everywhere this afternoon. As you can see the dust and hear it on the microphone. You can see the yellow bell bushes behind home plate blowing around, as well as the dust. And it is cold. Ground ball, shortstop. Braden over to first in time. And she guns her down. So a good play again at shortstop by Braden Taylor to cut down Annie Kate Dalton with a G6, if you will. A grounder to the shortstop. Kaya Pickens in 2 times has popped out to third base and grounded to the third baseman as well. So Kaya's hit it over there twice this afternoon. Let's see if she makes it 3 in a row. Pitch high for a ball. Baseball in the bottom of the fifth. Right now, Murphy with a 3-0 lead over our boys, as again, they're playing right next door to this game. Pitch in for a strike from Stacy Griggs. Bases empty, 2 out. Murphy up 3-1 here. Again, we're in the top of the fifth. Wind up on the throw. This one in the dirt, but no harm done. Nobody on for a ball. Don't forget, we're going to be on the road at Raven Gap on Tuesday and back here next Friday, a week from today, with Robbinsville coming into town. Robbinsville and Murphy right now tied at 3-0 in the conference. We're right behind them as our ladies are 4-1 in conference play. Our only loss was to Hiawassee Dam, and that coming in the bottom of the 7th inning in that game where they scored all 5 runs. And just one tough inning from our ladies being perfect at 5-0 in conference play. We're 6-1 overall. Very good season so far. Ground ball to the pitcher, Stacy. Should be an easy play to first, and it is. 3 up, 3 down here in the top of the 5th inning. And we'll be back as our Lady Devils will come back and try to score after this timeout. Fans, welcome back. Coming up to hit now for the Lady Devils is going to be Keely Eagleman, as our Lady Devils have a 3-1 deficit here as we go to the bottom of the fifth inning with fierce wind blowing all around. And we're joined by Joanna McMahon joining us up here in the Crow's Nest this afternoon. Glad to have her and so appreciative of what she does for all our Maroon Devil sports with her magic camera. She is just everywhere and does such a great job, and I know all the parents and the players appreciate it, and she just doesn't get enough credit, and that's why we want to give her a big shout out for all the great work she does here at Swain County High School. And that's a true labor of love that she is around with her camera taking action photos. There's a shot over the third baseman's head, and it's going to be in for a base hit. So getting us started here is going to be Keely Eagleman. Good job. She was hit by a pitch last time and is now on with a base hit. That's only our fourth hit of the day. Our Lady Devils have 4 hits. Murphy has 5 hits on the day. That tells you how solid the pitching has been for both teams, as Ayanna West is now stepping in. Ayanna has one of our hits on the day as well. Our senior designated player hitting .353 coming into this game. Again, a big hit last time. There's a slap hit. Gets by the third baseman. Going to be going into left field. So she's going to be on. So Ayanna on now. And I'm afraid we're going to have to charge that one E5 against Murphy. But again, the main thing is we have 2 base runners on here to get things started in what could be a big fifth inning with nobody out. So now runners on first and second. And we go to the top of the lineup here. Braden Taylor digging in. Got on with an error her first time and struck out last time. Braden having a great season. .391 average, 12 runs scored, a big home run, and a home run here would give us the lead. Pitch in. That's going to be a call strike. You can see the velocity that both pitchers have here this afternoon. Every time it pops into the catcher's mitt, you can see the dust. And with this wind swirling, you can see the dust as well. There's a swing and a miss for a strike. And again, Taylor Ledford for Murphy and our Stacy Griggs, both pitching outstanding here this afternoon. 4 hits for our Lady Devils, 5 hits for Murphy on the day. Swing and a miss, though. That's going to be a strike 3 for Braden as she goes down swinging. And Kendall Bowers will bring her gaudy batting average to the plate, hitting .750 coming into the game today. Has grounded to the shortstop 2 times in a row. Let's see if she can get a big hit and potentially bring a run in as well, as Murphy leads 3-1. A big hit here would make it a 1-run ball game. And Kendall has, again, just had a red-hot bat. There's a slap hit to third. It's going to be in for an infield single. Bases are loaded. Another big hit for Kendall Bowers here. So that is going to be our 5th hit of the day. Tying Murphy, both teams now with 5 hits unofficially. And it's going to be bring up Kenzie Eagleman, our junior catcher, hitting .630 on the season. She goes down and gets some pre-bat instructions down there from Kayla McMahon and a slap on the helmet. Says, hey, get in there and get it done. Kenzie, 24 RBIs. She has our only RBI this afternoon. Last time lined out to third base. She had a shot. There's another shot that's fouled on the third base side. Last time she had a line drive at the third baseman. And not to take anything away from a great catch by Mackenzie Seabolt, but she stuck out her glove and pow, the ball was right there. The ball was hit that hard. I mean, it was a screaming line drive. So Kenzie now with a golden opportunity, talking about adding to your RBI total. 3-1 ball game with the bases loaded. And 1 out. Stacy Griggs is going to be on deck. Sun is coming down into the camera lens as it, there's the pitch. Ground ball to shortstop, over to third. Got the runner, but the run will score, making it a 3-2 ball game. So getting another RBI is going to be Stacy Griggs over there with a fielder's choice. But again, her second RBI of the day. Stacy Griggs who has struck out and flied out to center field now with a chance to tie this game up. Got runners at first and second. They got the force out at third on the fielder's choice. Pitch in for a ball. But again, we have runners at second and at first. Kendall Bowers down at second. Down at first base, Kenzie Eagleman. 2 out. And a 3-2 outstanding game. Pitch in for a strike. And again, both pitchers have been really around the strike zone all day. But again, unofficially, both teams with 5 hits. Pitch just inside for a ball. Over in the baseball game nearby, they're already in the 6th inning. Murphy with a 3-0 lead as our boys will be batting in the bottom of the 6th inning. 3-1. Check that. 3-1. Missed that one over on the home side of the scoreboard. 3-1 game there. 3-2 game here. Talking about 2 good games going on. Oh, pitch high. Wild pitch gets away. And our runners advance now in scoring position with 2 out. Runners at second and third. And not too many balls get away from Annie Kate Dalton behind the plate for Murphy, one of the outstanding catchers in the state at any level of high school softball. That pitch just really high. So now the pressure on Taylor Ledford, the pitcher for Murphy. Pitch outside for a ball. And that's going to be ball 4. That's going to load him up as Stacy Griggs is on with a walk. So now bases loaded, 2 out. Ashton Yachts is going to be batting for our Lady Devils on the day with a line drive to second base and one of our hits. And now Murphy's going to have a timeout to talk it over with a 3-2 ball game and the bases loaded. Here in the 5th inning, we'll take a break and we'll be right back as well. Stay with us. Fans, welcome back after Murphy talks it over inside the pitcher's circle. Here we go with 2 out, bases loaded. Our Lady Devils big chance to take the lead here. Win this 3-2 thriller in conference play. Trying to get a run across the plate to tie it up or even take the lead back. Again, a bases loaded. Ashton Yachts at the plate. Already has one of our hits on the day and a great season for Ashton, hitting .545, 11 RBIs, 8 runs scored. And again, a great opportunity here. Foul ball. On deck behind Ashton is going to be Savannah Smith. We hope she gets to bat because with 2 outs, that means good things are happening for Ashton if Savannah gets a chance to hit here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 3-2 contest. We knew coming in it was going to be a good ball game between 2 of the better teams in the league, our Lady Devils and Murphy, and it has not disappointed at all. Pitch in. Oh, just missing for a ball. Taylor Ledford trying to pitch out of this jam as our Stacy Griggs has been in this jam as well with the bases loaded and 2 out. So both pitchers feeling that pressure in this big conference game. Pitch in, foul ball, no play over on the baseball side of things. And that game again 3-1 now as our boys are still batting in the bottom of the 6th inning. But a big situation here. Bases loaded, 2 out. Pitch coming. Another foul ball. Ashton hanging in there, trying to get her pitch to put into play here. Third baseman coming over, just trying to maybe settle down Taylor just a little bit. Third baseman Mackenzie Seabolt. But again, both pitchers have been very solid today. 5 hits for each team. Each team has had a couple of defensive miscues, if you will, but what a game. 3-2. Pitch coming. Foul ball again. Ashton doing a good job hanging in there, keeping the bat on the ball. Don't forget, fans, coming up next week, our ladies are going to be at Raven Gap on Tuesday. Back here with Robbinsville. Big conference matchup next Friday right here. Pitch in. Swing and a miss. Oh, a tough one. And our Lady Devils leave the bases loaded, unfortunately, in this 3-2 ball game. Murphy still in the lead by 1. We'll be back as we go to the 6th after this timeout. Here we go in the top of the 6th inning. Mackenzie Seabolt will lead it off for the Murphy Bulldogs, followed by Haley Bowman and Allison Wells in this 3-2 contest. Both teams playing well. Both teams unofficially with 5 hits, according to, again, our unofficial stats here. Trying to keep them as best we can. First pitch is going to be in for a strike from Stacy Griggs, who is having such a great year and under 1 ERA. 51 strikeouts coming into this game. Only 15 walks, and she is just having a great season. That pitch in the dirt for a ball. But again, this 3-2 ball game is, we expected nothing less. When Swain and Murphy get together, it seems like it's always just great competition, great rivalry. And again, that sun is a problem for right field and second base and first base. We see the players trying to hold their arm up and shield that sun out of their eyes. And it really is a problem, because the lower that sun sinks, the harder it is for the first baseman, the second baseman, the right fielder, the center fielder to sometimes really see the ball, especially if the ball goes up in the air. It gets lost in that sun, and it's really, really tough. We feel for those defenders. And the same thing over on the baseball diamond next door. It's not just softball. Ground ball in play to third base, over to first in time. Outstanding play again from Kinsley Chambers over there. Getting it over to first base for 1 down. Maisie Helpman over there manning first base. 1 out now as Seabolt, a G5. And again, a lot of good plays over there for third base. Kinsley Chambers has had a busy day as Haley Bowman, who is 2 for 2 on the day for Murphy now. 2 base hits in 2 times. So she has 2 of their 5 hits on the afternoon. Pitch in for a strike. But again, I tell you, Stacy is bringing it. She's had some stuff on those pitches, as we mentioned. You see that ball pop into the glove of Kinsey Eagleman, and the dust flies. Ground ball to the pitcher. Stacy on over to first in time. Easy. Out number 2. So Haley Bowman now with a grounder to the pitcher as Allison Wells will come to the plate. Allison has been on once and 2 times. She struck out her first time and walked the second time. Allison, the starting second baseman for Murphy, and they're black and gold. Our Lady Devils in maroon jerseys. The gray pants with some white trim this afternoon. Pitch high for a ball. And to bring you up to date in baseball, it's a 3-1 Murphy lead in the bottom of the 6th inning. But our Devils with 2 out have the tying runs on base. Runners on first and second over there in the baseball game. We like to keep you posted over there if you're watching and or listening or both here on the Maroon Devils Network on a Friday afternoon. Looks like in baseball, a run is coming in and will score. So now it's a 3-2 Murphy lead in the baseball game. Our Devils have scored 1 to make it a 1-run game. So we have identical scores. 3-2 Murphy here in softball, 3-2 Murphy in baseball next door. As digging in again, it's going to be Allison Wells. Hitting with 2 out now, ball in the dirt. On deck is going to be Reagan Ennis for Murphy. Coming in 3-0 in conference play. Our Lady Devils right behind at 4-1. We would like to come out on top on this one and give Murphy their first loss. Foul ball, no play behind home plate. Full count, should be a 3-2 count. Nobody on here. Over on the baseball diamond, looks like we might be tying this one up in baseball. Maybe with a go-ahead run rounding third. Throw coming into third base over on the baseball field. And we're going to have it out at third base. But again, our Maroon Devils, I believe, might have just taken the lead 4-3 in baseball next door. Here's the pitch. An hour featured game this afternoon, and that's going to be ball 4. And I believe that's only the third walk issued today by Stacy Griggs and our Lady Devils. As getting on is Allison Wells. Reagan Ennis coming to the plate. Reagan with a single and a strikeout in 2 times, 1 for 2. And again in baseball, our Maroon Devils have taken the lead 4-3. That game in the 7th inning now. So, wow, we've got a couple of great ones going on. Swing and a miss for a strike. Stacy Griggs trying to keep this lone Murphy base runner stranded at first base here with 2 outs. There haven't been too many 3-up, 3-down innings. Both teams have managed base runners just about every inning. High pop, could be trouble. Dropping back, off the glove of Braden Taylor. The ball is picked up, and the hitter is going to wind up at second base, but Braden trying to get out there and make a play on it, just couldn't quite pull it in. Looking right back into the sun. She's caught 2 of those today, almost similar. But this one she had to go way over to her left into shallow, almost right center field, and just couldn't quite pull it in. Coach Toby Burrell looking out there and calling to his outfielders to come in a little bit, and he wants to talk things over in the pitcher's circle this afternoon with runners at second and third and 2 out here in this 3-2 ball game. But again, that one just an almost impossible play out into shallow center field. And again, I'm going to have to call that a base hit, giving Murphy their 6th hit on the day. So now Murphy with runners in scoring position. And Coach Burrell has a word with his infield and wants to make sure everybody's on the same page and settle everybody down. And hitting this time, believe it or not, there's going to be a change. Taylor Ledford is going to hit instead of Caitlin Irwin, the designated player. Caitlin is not going to hit this time. It's going to be Taylor Ledford, the starting pitcher. So this will be her first time at bat today, and it's a big opportunity for her to help her own cause as she has runners at second and third, 2 out, and a 3-2 lead. Now Stacy Griggs ready to go here as she steps back on the rubber and pitch in for a ball. But again, our boys taking a 4-3 lead in the 7th inning over on the baseball diamond. Pitch in the dirt, going to be low. All the base runners stay. Good stop back there by catcher Kinsey Eagleman. Talking about Murphy baseball, I know for the past couple of years they were outstanding. This year they're very young. And our Maroon Devils with more veterans on this year's team. Right now the lead in that game next door. Pitch in. Oh, boy. Boy. That looked good from here. That's all I'm going to say. In the top of the 6th inning. Missing for a ball, according to the home plate umpire. But again, we're way out here into right field. And another pitch in. The runner started to go, but they hang on. Kinsey Eagleman and Stacy Griggs, our pitcher-catcher, trying to keep them stranded at 2nd and 3rd with 2 out. The windup and the pitch going to be a call strike. Wind still blowing, still swirling around here this afternoon. But again, that sun is a real defensive problem for baseball and softball players in the outfields and the infields. Ground ball is going to be in play at first base, but that's going to be out number 3, and Murphy leaving the runner stranded as a good play down there at first base defensively. Maisie Heltman gets it done, and we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's Murphy 3, our Lady Devils 2. We'll be back. Fans, here we go in the bottom of the 6th inning. We've got a classic going on here. Savannah Smith will lead us off for our Lady Devils in the bottom of the 6th inning, down 3-2. But again, what a game going on. Savannah in 2 times has grounded out to third base and grounded to the shortstop. Savannah hitting .391 on the season, though, having a good year at the plate for our Lady Devils with 7 RBIs and 6 runs. Over in the baseball game, our boys only 2 outs away from a 4-3 win. They have a 4-3 lead over Murphy with 1 out on the top of the 7th inning. They're trying to hang on, and our Lady Devils trying to answer back in this 3-2 game here. High shot into shallow right, and they come on and catch it. Almost a collision between second base and right field, but a good catch out there in right field by Reagan Ennis for the Murphy Bulldogs. So 1 down now. And Maisie Heltman is coming up to bat. Maisie has struck out twice in the contest this afternoon. Again, good pitching. Again, give credit where it's due for both players. Taylor Ledford for Murphy and our Stacy Griggs. Both have been really solid in the pitcher's circle here this afternoon. And both young ladies have had some really pressure situations with the bases loaded. So they have managed to pitch through those situations. Swing and a miss. Big swing by Maisie. Again, freshman hitting back-to-back. Savannah, freshman right fielder. Maisie, our freshman first baseman. On deck is going to be Keely Eagleman. The windup and the throw. Foul ball. And on deck behind Maisie is going to be Keely, as we mentioned. And then Ayanna West. So our Lady Devils here on the bottom of the sixth inning. In a big conference showdown. Of course, we have a lot of conference games left, but everyone is big, especially with, right now, I think the best three teams in the league with our Lady Devils, Murphy, and Robbinsville. Coming into this game, Robbinsville and Murphy tied at 3-0 in conference play. We're right behind at 4-1. And if we can pull this one out, we would move into second and sole possession and kick Murphy down behind us and trail only Robbinsville. Pitch outside for a ball from Taylor Ledford. Both pitchers have gone the distance. Our Stacy Griggs 5-1 on the season with that stellar ERA of .969, under 1. Swing and a miss, and that's going to be strike 3. So Maisie goes down swinging now, and Keeley will be coming up. Keeley has been on both times, hit by a pitch her first time and got a base hit her last time up. So an on-base percentage of 1,000 here this afternoon. Ayanna West is going to be on deck.
Oh, no.
And it looks like that's going to be out number 3 as our Lady Devils come up scoreless here in the bottom of the sixth inning. So one of those tough innings for our girls here. 3 up, 3 down. Fans, stay tuned. We'll be back with the 7th coming up after this timeout. Fans, welcome back here. We go to the 7th inning here in a 3-2 thrilling contest between our Lady Devils and the Murphy Bulldogs. Murphy will start off here in the 7th with their leadoff hitter, again, Kennedy Colbert Carr. In 3 times has grounded to third base, struck out, and got on with an error. Our Lady Devils trying to keep them off the scoreboard here in the 7th and try to rebound in the bottom half of our inning and come back and win this one. Over in baseball next door, our boys have now relinquished the lead, as now Murphy has a 5-4 lead in the 7th with 2 out. Of course, our guys will have a chance to come back and get it done in the bottom half of the 7th inning. There's a shot into shallow left field. That's going to be out of play over there outside the fence over on the left field side in the shade. But what two thrilling contests here next door to each other. Our girls right now, after a 1-0 lead through the first 3 innings, Murphy scored for 3 in the 4th and 1 in the 5th. Or check that. 3-2, we had the 1, and in this 3-2 ball game. And next door, it's a 5-4 ball game, so a one-run game each way here. There's a ball getting through into left field, coming into second, and safely is leading off the inning with a stand-up double is Kennedy Colbert Carr. Her first hit on the day, and Murphy's, I believe that's unofficially their 7th hit. So now Murphy will have their number 2 hitter in the lineup, Grace Nilsson, hitting. And she has not been on at all today. Grounded to third base. Popped up to the shortstop and then flied out into shallow center field. That was also caught by our shortstop, Braden Taylor. So runner on second. Nobody out here for Murphy. Again, unofficially 6 hits on the day. Ground ball just fouled on the third base side. Check that, 7 hits unofficially on the day. I thought that was correct. But again, Murphy with 7 hits. Our Lady Devils with 5 hits unofficially on the afternoon. Trying to keep Murphy out the scoreboard here in the top of the 7th. Our girls needing a scoreless inning and try and come back and tie it or win it in the bottom half. Ground ball, foul off our dugout. On deck behind Grace Nelson, it's going to be Annie Kate Dalton. And over in the baseball game, 5-4 Murphy in the lead as our boys will bat in the bottom of the 7th. So both our girls and boys here looking at good things to happen in the bottom half of the final inning potentially. Ground ball to third. On over to first base. It's going to be not in time. So everybody is going to be safe. Throw just coming up just a little bit late over there for Grace Nelson. So Annie Kate Dalton batting now. So both teams have had a couple of miscues again defensively here this afternoon. So now Murphy, and now there's a timeout as the girls talk it over in the infield. Of course, they know that Grace Nelson now at first is going to head on down to second base on the first or second pitch here and have runners at second and third with nobody out here in the top of the 7th. Annie Kate Dalton, a tough out, has got on with an error, had a single and grounded to shortstop in 3 times. Let's see if we can keep her off the base paths as well. There's a shot into shallow right field. 1 run is in. That was a well-hit ball, and we made a diving attempt at it over there at second base. Trying to get a glove on it was Ashton Yoss, but that ball was hit a screaming line drive for a base hit. And another run in here for Murphy. So they have a 4-2 lead here on the top of the 7th. And Toby Burrell with looks like a discussion with the umpires coming onto the field here. Murphy now with a runner at first and third as the runner scored on that base hit. And Coach Burrell talking with the umpires. An update in baseball right now. Murphy leads 5-4. Nobody out. Bottom of the 7th inning. Our Maroon Devil boys coming to bat here with nobody on, nobody out. Just getting underway in the bottom of the 7th, trying to pull that one out. And our girls right here trying to keep Murphy off the scoreboard, if at all possible. As Murphy will bring Kaya Pickens, their number 4 hitter, to the plate with 2 on here and a 4-2 lead. So still some discussion going on with the now the Murphy coaches and the umpires. So let's see what they're trying to decide here. Murphy did score the run. It was 4-2 on the scoreboard. Now the scoreboard has gone back to 3-2. And, of course, we're not privy as to what they're discussing. But now the Murphy coach is upset. Is there a possibility that that run is going to be taken off the scoreboard? And Murphy right now still very, with their coach, animated with his discussion with the home plate umpire and a possibility of interference with the base runner and the ball in play that was hit between first and second base on a line drive. So, So they're still trying to decide what they're going to do here on the softball diamond. On the baseball diamond, Murphy still leads 5-4, 1 out. Bases empty in the baseball game next door. Now the base umpire and the home plate umpire are back to talk again about the play. Again, the ball that was put into play between first and second. But again, the scoreboard is now saying 3-2 instead of 4-2. All right, the runners will return to first and third. Umpire still talking. This is almost like college basketball, as we've seen so many times this week already. The officials have to go to the instant replay camera. Unfortunately, here, there is no instant replay. They have to go with a call. They can't look at anything like the basketball officials have been doing all week long in the NCAA March Madness. And I know it's no laughing matter because this decision obviously can affect the outcome of the game. Well, it looks like we're going to go back again. Runners on first and third. The scoreboard now says 3-2. And I think we're going to be ready to hit, I believe. And stepping in is going to be Kaya Pickens, their number 4 hitter for the Murphy Bulldogs. And again, Grace Nilsson probably is going to go to second base with a runner at third. Ball in the dirt. Kinsey digs it up, but again, the runner does go down to second. That's Annie Kate Dalton, actually. Now Kinsey coming out again to talk with Stacy. And we're not sure if they called an out on that disputed play. So apparently there is an out. Apparently the base runner might have been hit by the ball that might have caused the interference, is what we're thinking out here. And our Eagles nest in right field. So again, Murphy with runners at second and third, 1 out and a 3-2 lead. So that play that was disputed by both coaches apparently did result in the run not counting and the base runner being called out as she was probably hit by that line drive. But here we go. Stacy with a windup and the throw. Ground ball to third base. Checks the runner. Go to first. Digs it up. Gets the out. Goes home. And it's going to be out at home. A bang double play. Our Lady Devils, what about that? From third to first to home. Outstanding double play. And that keeps it a one-run ball game as we go to the bottom of the seventh inning. Holy cow. Hang on to your seat. We'll be back with the bottom of the seventh. Can we pull it out? We'll find out after this break. Fans, welcome back as Ayanna West gets one in play. A hard grounder to third base, but a bang throw to first base. Just got her by a step for out number one here in the bottom of the seventh inning. So big play over there at third base, but none bigger than the double play we saw to end Murphy's top of the seventh inning as we had a big play from third to first to home. One down here. Our Lady Devils have to answer back, though, with at least one run. There's a ball in play. Slap hit, and it's going to be foul down the third base side off the bat of our leadoff batter, Braden Taylor, our freshman, hitting .391. And again, Braden got on first time with an error and struck out the last two times. Our girls trying to get the tying run and potential winning run across the plate here on the bottom of the inning. Pitch high for a ball. Of course, nobody on, one out. On deck is going to be Kendall Bowers, so we have some potential good bats hitting here in the seventh. Over in the baseball contest, a tough game as our boys lose a tough one 5-4 to Murphy in conference play. And that one that went 7 innings right down to the wire. Here's another play at first, and it's going to be, is it going to be the second out? I believe it is. Here comes Toby Burrell. Not happy again. That throw right in the face of the base runner. But again, that's going to be out number 2. And another big play over there by Mackenzie Seabolt, the Murphy third baseman, with a throw that was right into the base path, right into the path of the runner. Toby talking with the home plate umpire. And again, that's a tough situation as well. That ball was coming right into the runner's path. And a tough break for Braden Taylor. Batting now is going to be Kendall Bowers. Kendall got on with a base hit last time. She just grounded to shortstop twice and has had a base hit on the afternoon. Kendall, just an outstanding bat, hitting .750 coming into this game, scoring 15 runs and needing a hit here with 2 outs. There's a shot into left field. It's going to be caught. Unfortunately, a big catch out in left field. And that's going to be the ball game as our Lady Devils lose a tough one here. And again, it came right down to the final out in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Murphy victorious in softball 3-2 and in baseball 5-4. Both games going right down to the bottom half of the 7th inning here this afternoon. So our Lady Devils will now fall to 4-2 in conference play. Murphy will move to 4-0. But again, a lot of conference softball coming up. As we mentioned, we're going to be on the road next week at Raymond Gap, down at Raymond Gap Nakuchi School on Tuesday. And then we'll be right back here at Swain High next Friday with another front runner in the conference, Robbinsville, in softball. So be sure and come on out and back up our Lady Devils. Fans, stay tuned. We'll be back. We hope to get a word with head coach Toby Burrell when we come back after this. 1-2, 1-2. Fans, welcome back as we have a chance to talk some softball with head coach Toby Burrell. Coach, I know a tough game for our Lady Devils to lose, a 3-2 thriller right down to the final out. But our young team, I think, showed a lot of grit and a lot of determination and just a heck of a ball game, really.
Well, it was, and I'm pleased. Murphy's one of the top teams in Smoky Mountain Conference. They've been good for a couple of years now. They got a good group. They're a great softball team, and hats off to them. But what I'm proud of is our kids stood toe-to-toe with them for 7 innings. And we never backed down. We kept coming, and that's all we can ask of our kids. And it's like I told them, we got to trust the process and do the things that we know we got to do as a team to be successful. And if we do that, we'll live with the results. And so we'll live with these results. You know, it is what it is. It's a rivalry. That's what I told them. I said, it's a rivalry. That's why we don't like each other right there. You know, it is what it is. Things got heated there at the end, and it was just what it was. The ball looked to me from where I was like it hit the Murphy runner. I asked the umpire, he made the call, and somehow I'm the evil villain of all that, but okay, whatever works. It wasn't my call. Right. I wish it were.
Yeah. But we were wondering the same thing. It looked like there was interference from the runner between first and second on that ball that was set out there.
Well, it looked to me like it hit her. Now, she swore up and down it didn't, and I don't have any reason to doubt her, but from where I was and from where our coaching staff was, everybody on our staff said the ball changed directions when it got to her, and so something happened. I don't know what. The umpire said he saw that. So if he sees it, he's got to go with his call.
Absolutely.
The only thing we were arguing is he said that's still a live ball, and it's not. As soon as that happens, it's a dead ball.
Yeah.
And they eventually talked it over and got what I think was the right call. I know Murphy and their fans disagree with me, but it's what it looked like to me. You know?
You're right. Coach, I know big inning for both teams, bases loaded there, and wow, just so many things could happen. But got to give a lot of credit to Stacy Griggs. She pitched a real solid game all afternoon.
Well, she did, and you know, the thing for me is that she didn't have her best stuff today. I know that's kind of hard to believe for people probably saying, no, you got that wrong. No, trust me, she didn't. She's a little more amped up than probably she should have been, and unable to relax. She kept falling behind in counts, and that forced us to throw pitches where we really didn't want to throw them and allow them to do some things. But, you know, all in all, she pitched a tremendous ball game. So did their pitchers. It was a good pitcher's duel, good high school softball game. When that happens, you get the bases loaded. They get the bases loaded. You're able to work out of those things. That's just two good softball teams going at each other. That's the way it works, and inevitably it comes down to one break for one team or the other. And today it was for them, and that's, you know, like we say, we tip our hat and we go on.
No question. We play them again later in the year. And but again, 4 freshmen, this very young team, again, showed a lot of spunk, and I think a lot of good things are coming up down the line.
Well, I hope so. And the one thing as a staff we were worried about is us not matching Murphy's intensity level in a rivalry game that they've been a part of a little bit longer than our kids have. And I thought we did a good job of that, you know, all in all, without it affecting the way we were playing, which is what you worry about. Because every game's not like that, and sometimes you let that control your emotions instead of playing the game. And I felt like we did a good job of controlling our emotions and doing what we needed to do.
No question about it. Fans, again, a 3-2, a tough one, a thriller right down to the last out, as you saw here on the Maroon Devils Network. Coming up, our Lady Devils will be on the road Tuesday at Raymond Gap, down in Raymond Gap, Nakoochee, and Raymond Gap, Georgia. And then a week from today on Friday, Robbinsville comes to Swain County High School, another big conference showdown. So, again, join us next time as we have more broadcasts coming up down the line here on the Maroon Devils Network. All right.